they already have an ideal romantic scenario in their head. So if you ask them, they'll this is it. If you ask a random lady, say, hey, what would be your ideal romantic thing for Valentine's Day this year? She already has it in her head. She'll be able to tell you, right? For guys, I don't think we operate like that. To be honest with you, I struggled when I came up with this. I struggled with the same thing, right? Answering that question. If even till now, I still don't have an answer on about what will be an ideal romantic thing or the most romantic thing someone has done for me. Not to say people haven't done, you know, things for me. You know what I mean? But the ideal romantic, um,
When you say that, are you talking about something equivalent to what a man would kind of do for a woman?
it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be equivalent. It doesn't have to be equivalent. It's just
It's
I'm
about
trying to
your
figure out.
own, as a guy, your own definition.
No,
What's your own definition of what you
guys in general.
consider
Guys in general.
romantic? Yeah,
Yeah, it's what guys consider romantic, or if that's even a thing for guys.
yeah, yeah.
So, guys, we need your help with this. What would you consider
No
romantic?
guy is good at answer that. But anyway,
You never know. You never
I'm
know.
sure
Some
some
some people
women
might
will
have
help
an
us
idea.
answer for the guys.
Yeah, some people, and also women. What, uh, ladies? What have you done, or what has your partner said to you that is a romantic thing for them?
Or maybe we can ask women what they think they've done that's romantic, you know, for a guy.
What you do that you think is romantic does not
Well, it
necessarily
doesn't
mean
count.
it's
Okay.
romantic. Yeah. You ask women, they'll tell you this all day, every day, because most of the things, not most, some of the things guys do for women that we think is romantic, they're like, psh, bro, step your game up. So that's why I'm saying, like, but yeah. So nothing is romantic to you, bro. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Eh? Guys, please help us out. What do you think is romantic? And you're the first one I'm asking this. I'm gonna make some calls, ask around, see what my guys think is romantic, or what they consider romantic for them. Anything else you want to add to that? Why did you say it like that?
No, I mean nothing else really. I just yeah,
Okay. All
interesting.
right. Let's move on to the next question I have for you.
Okay,
The
shoot.
next question I have for you. You mentioned show up earlier. In my notes, I have how do you show up for people? It's a two-part question. Actually, I want answers for the second part. Actually, that's what I'm really focused on. Like, how do you typically show up for people? And when you show up for people, do you expect them? Do you expect? Uh, uh, do you expect them to replicate that, like showing up for you back at some point?
Um,
Let me rephrase it. All right, it's a two-part question, right?
okay.
The first part is how do you show up for people?
Hmm.
The second part of the question is when you show up for people, do you is it expected, or do you expect that they will show up for you, you know, sometime in the future just because you showed up for them at that time?
So one thing that I usually say to people is the only thing that you can control is what you do, and your response to how other people treat you, or what they say to you. You can't control what any other person does, you know, for you or not. Whether you've done whatever it is for them, right? Showing up for people is, to me, is being there, you know, when they need you, right? Showing up for people is being there even when they don't know that they need you, right?
Yep.
Showing up for people is being there, or when, being there for them, standing up for them, whether in their presence or, or in their absence, right? For me, I don't expect anything from anyone. If you do something for me, I would appreciate it and I'll be grateful. But to say, oh, I did this for you, I expect you to be able to do that for me as well. No, I don't think anyone should expect anything from anybody. First of all, you may have all the means and resources to be able to do something for people, and they may not. They may look like they do, right? But they may not, for real, right? So, and you don't know people's situation, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know, so you can't impose or have expectations that you can't control, right? So that's my answer.
I agree. I think you show up for people when you have the means to, when you're able to, if you want to, right? You have to add, it has to be someone you want to show up for too, right? You don't
Mhm.
just show up for just anybody. And like you said, just because I'm able to show up for you today doesn't mean I expect. Personally, I don't expect. I do it because I'm able to,
Right.
right? Because having the expectation that, oh, I'm gonna do this now with the hopes that, when I need something from this person, you know, they're gonna reciprocate because I did something, I did them a favor now. It's just
Yeah.
you basically setting yourself up for failure. So
Hmm.
if you have the means to help someone, you know, at a particular time, if you want to, by all means, go ahead, do it, and just forget about it. You know, if you need something from that person, sometime in the future, and they're not able to show up for you, I wouldn't take it personal. And here's the other thing, like, we are so quick to forget, we as humans. and,
Hmm.
and I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying sometimes we forget. I'm not excusing it. It's bad if someone shows up for you and you forget. You're supposed to remember, hey, this person. But the truth of the matter is, we sometimes forget when people show up for us. That's why I cultivate the habit of, or I try to cultivate the habit of, when I show up for someone, I just do it just to do it, and and not hold on to it, because you hold on to it, and then when you need something and that person doesn't show up for you, you start, oh, remember I did this for this person, and they didn't, now I need them. Obviously, if you know that the person is capable of, there's no way to, there's no way to know 100% that that person, when you needed that person and they couldn't show up for you, that they were able to at that point, they just decided not to, right?
Right.
So there's no way to know, unless their mouth and tell you, oh, by the way, when you asked me for that 10,000 that one time, I was, I did go London. I won't go flex. All this kind, that kind of thing. Unless they, come out and tell you later on down the line that yes, in fact, I could have helped you, but I just had other things going on that are irrelevant. But anyway, outside of that, I don't think you should. Um,
I don't think anybody owes anyone anything. That's just the way I feel personally. If you're, like you said, if you have the means and you can, yes, it's. I'm sure whoever it is would appreciate it because for them to probably come ask you for help or for support, you know, they they
it
really
takes a
need it.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, it takes a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Moving along. Um. Oh. Oh. All right. I want you to react to this.
Okay,
I just give me 1 second.
sure.
Let me cue it up.
Go ahead.
Up, stretch out, big bands, whoa, whoa. What's up, stretch out.
1 second. Can you hear my sound?
Not right now.
Okay. Hold on.
If you listen to a book on audio, does it count as having read the book, or do you need to say in a sentence, I've listened to that?
Can you hear the sound?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hold on. All right. Let me intro do the intro for this.
If you listen to a, if you li-
So, I was scrolling through TikTok and I came across this video. It was a debate. It was a podcast. Uh, two parents and two parents in a pod is the name of the podcast.
Okay.
They were debating whether reading 10 books,
But reading what?
whether reading 10 books
Okay.
and listening to the audio version of those 10 books is the same thing. Let me just play. Let me play the conversation for you.
listen to a book on audio, does it count as, if you listen to a book on audio, does it count as having read the book, or do you need to say in a sentence, I've listened to that book?
I think it's a completely different consumption behavior and it needs to clarify. I think you need to clarify, hey, I listened to this book. I listened to 12 books last year versus I read 12 books last year. It's very different. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. Like saying that you read when you listened is misleading.
Do you know how this came up, Alex?
No, how?
Because I told Harrison I read 90 books last year,
Oh.
and he was like, "You read 90 books last year?"
And you listened to 90 books.
Which is amazing.
I read 90 books.
You listened to 90 books.
I read
But
90
did you,
books.
but how many of them were audiobooks?
90.
Yeah, that's okay. So,
Where do you stand on it?
well, if you got the
Where do you stand on it?
I read 90 books last year.
You read 90 books?
I'm just saying that's where I stand. I mean, you didn't read. You listen. No, you I listened is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Okay.
I listened is the right answer. I mean, they're two different. they're, they're two different. What senses? Is that what they call it? Right? I mean, like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. You
The
reading.
guy actually said something very interesting. He said they're two. They require two modes of participation or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Like you can listen to an audiobook while you're driving. You can't read and drive at the same time.
Absolutely, I agree.
I
It
mean,
doesn't.
you know, at the end of the day, and actually, do you even retain the same? I guess that's to be that
Okay,
requires some level
so
of research
personally, it's easy for me to listen to a book
for
than to
most
read,
people. Yeah,
right?
yeah, I agree.
Because you know, it, I retain it longer, right? Uh,
Now, will you
two,
retain
I
when you
get
read or
distracted
when you
when I'm
listen?
reading. When I listen,
When you listen, you retain longer.
yeah,
Okay, I'm I think I'm the same way, but I think some people they'll retain that information better when they read it
when they read it, yeah. I mean, I read,
because
right?
when you
But
read when you read you'll visualize things. I mean, even for audiobook, like I try to visualize, but reading also comes with like you know, depending on what you're reading. Reading will also come with like, you know, some type of graphic, depending on what you're reading, right? And that helps you shape how you read or how you consume something or how you visualize what you're reading. So I think they're two different things.
right,
Yeah.
right. I would, you know, I prefer to listen than to read. I have books. I have lots of books here. When I buy the books, I would buy the audiobook as well. So I listen to the audiobook. Sometimes I pick up the book, depending on how far I've gotten. I do a combination of both. The truth is, I don't have time to read my day to day like that. In terms of reading a book, so because I'm always on the go, I just listen. I listen to the audiobook. Right, that's what I do.
Cool. 1 second.
It's a different camera angle.
Hold on. Can you pause? Can you pause it and let me restart?